I want you to imagine something for a moment. Picture the world around you, the trees, the sky, the people you meet every day. All of this, everything you've ever known, could be nothing more than a projection, a fleeting illusion created by forces you've never fully understood. I know this might sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but what if I told you that this idea isn't just a wild fantasy? What if it's the truth? And what if the one person who could definitively prove it vanished, taking the secret of this holographic reality with them? You see, there have always been individuals who seem to be chosen, people who walk a different path, who are able to see far beyond the veil of what we call reality. We often think of these people as visionaries, shamans, or even spiritual guides. But what if I told you that you, yes you, are capable of seeing the same thing? What if you possess the latent ability to understand that this world is a hologram, a matrix of energy and information shaped by your consciousness?
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
Think about it. How often do we go through life assuming that what we see, touch, and hear is the full extent of existence? We wake up, go through our routines, interact with people, and never question the deeper layers that might be operating behind the scenes. But if you've ever had a moment, a fleeting second of clarity, where you felt like there was something more, that's your consciousness tapping into something profound. It's as if the universe is whispering to you, this isn't all there is. Now let me take you deeper. What if I told you that this world, this holographic existence, is influenced by your thoughts, your emotions, and your beliefs? What if everything you experience is shaped by the energy you project out into the universe? You might be wondering, how can that be true when I feel stuck, limited by my circumstances? But I'm here to tell you that the limitations you perceive are part of the illusion. They are not the truth. The truth is, we are far more powerful than we've been led to believe. The scientist who vanished believed this. He believed that consciousness wasn't just something that happened inside our heads, but that it was a force that could shape reality itself. And you know what? He wasn't alone. Across history, mystics, spiritual leaders, and even quantum physicists have hinted at this same idea. They've suggested that reality is not some fixed, external thing, but something fluid, something we can interact with, alter, and co-create. But here's the big question: if this is true, then why don't more of us know about it? Why does the world seem so chaotic, so full of suffering if we can influence it with our minds? The answer lies in the fact that most of us are asleep. We're trapped in a cycle of distraction, conditioned to believe that we are powerless. We've forgotten that we are the creators of our reality. But some people, like the scientist who disappeared, wake up. They realize that they are not just participants in this holographic universe, they are its architects. And here's where it gets interesting. The moment you begin to wake up, the moment you start to question the nature of reality, you begin to see cracks in the illusion. You start to notice that your thoughts affect your environment, that your emotions ripple out into the world, influencing the people and events around you. Have you ever had a day where things just seemed to go right, where everything aligned perfectly? That's not a coincidence. That's you, tuning into the deeper reality, the hologram, and shaping it with your consciousness. But waking up isn't easy. It requires courage. It requires you to question everything you've ever known, to let go of the familiar, and to step into the unknown. And that's scary, isn't it? Most people would rather stay in the comfort of their illusions than face the truth. But you're different. You're here because you feel that pull. that urge to understand something deeper. So I ask you, if you could change your reality, if you could shape the hologram around you, what would you do? What kind of world would you create? Think about that for a moment. Because here's the thing, whether you realize it or not, you are already shaping your reality. The question is, are you doing it consciously, or are you letting the chaos of the world dictate your experience? Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the entire world around you was a creation of your own mind. I don't mean that in a metaphorical sense, I mean literally. What if everything you see, feel, and experience is a projection of your consciousness? And what if you could control that projection? I know it sounds almost too good to be true, but this is exactly what some of the greatest minds in history have suggested. The world as you know it is a hologram, and you, my friend, are the one controlling the projector. Let's dive deeper into this. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to live charmed lives while others struggle endlessly? It's not just about luck or circumstance, it's about alignment. When your mind, your thoughts, and your energy are aligned with the deeper fabric of reality, the hologram, you can start to manipulate it. You can bend it to your will. This is the secret that the scientist who vanished understood. He knew that consciousness and reality are not separate, they are one and the same. But here's the thing, most people are living in a fragmented state. Their thoughts are scattered, their emotions are out of control, and their energy is divided. When you're in that state, the hologram reflects chaos back to you. It mirrors your internal world. But when you bring everything into alignment, when your thoughts, emotions, and energy are focused, you start to see the magic happen. And this isn't just some abstract spiritual concept. Think about it practically. Have you ever noticed that when you're in a negative state of mind, everything seems to go wrong? But when you're feeling positive, confident, and centered, opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere. That's not a coincidence. That's you interacting with the hologram, shaping it with your state of being. Now, I want you to ask yourself a question: how much of your life is a reflection of your conscious choices, and how much is a reflection of unconscious patterns? This is crucial because if you're not aware of the patterns running in the background of your mind, you're not fully in control of the hologram. You're letting old programming shape your reality instead of consciously creating it. By now, you've probably started to feel that subtle shift, that realization that you are far more than just a passive observer in this world. You are a participant, a creator, someone who can actively shape reality. But how do you take that understanding and turn it into something tangible? How do you go from knowing that the world is a hologram to mastering it? The first step, and perhaps the most difficult, is to wake up. I don't mean that in the sense of getting out of bed in the morning, but in the sense of becoming fully aware of the power you hold. Most of us are walking through life in a kind of trance, reacting to events and circumstances as though we have no control. But the truth is, we have more control than we've ever been taught to believe. The moment you realize this, everything changes. So, how do you wake up? It starts by questioning the nature of your reality. The next time you encounter something, whether it's a challenge, an opportunity, or a simple conversation, ask yourself, how did I contribute to this? What thoughts, beliefs, or emotions led to this moment? This isn't about blaming yourself for everything that happens, but about recognizing the subtle ways in which you are co-creating your experiences. For example, let's say you're stuck in a job that you hate. It's easy to feel like a victim in that situation, to believe that you're powerless to change it. But what if, instead of focusing on the external circumstances, you started to shift your internal world? What if you began to focus on the things you love, the things that bring you joy, and the kind of work you want to be doing? Over time, you'll notice that the hologram starts to shift. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach will suddenly appear. This isn't magic. It's the natural result of aligning your consciousness with your desired reality. But waking up is just the beginning. Once you've started to become aware of the hologram, the next step is to learn how to navigate it. This is where things get really interesting. Imagine that the world around you is like a vast, interconnected web of energy and information. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, sends ripples through that web, influencing the people and events around you. If you can learn to control those ripples, you can start to shape reality in ways that seem almost miraculous. One of the most important tools for navigating the hologram is meditation. Now, I know that might sound cliché, but hear me out. Meditation isn't just about sitting quietly and clearing your mind. It's about tuning into the deeper frequencies of reality. When you meditate, you're not just calming your thoughts, you're aligning yourself with the energetic structure of the hologram. You're tapping into the source code of reality. Think of it like this: imagine the hologram as a giant computer program with intricate patterns of energy and information flowing through it. Most people are stuck on the surface level, interacting with the program only through their five senses. But when you meditate, you go deeper. You start to access the underlying patterns, the code that shapes reality. And once you're in that space, you can begin to rewrite the code. You can start to shift the hologram in ways that align with your highest intentions. But here's the thing: meditation isn't just about sitting in silence. It's about cultivating a state of awareness that you can carry with you throughout your day. When you're fully present, fully aware of the energy you're putting out into the world, you become a master of the hologram. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. You become the chosen one in your own story. Now, I want you to ask yourself another deep question. What are the unconscious beliefs that are shaping your reality right now? Are there patterns of thought that are keeping you stuck in a certain version of the hologram? Maybe you've been telling yourself that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve success, or that life is a constant struggle. These beliefs are like viruses in the code of the hologram. They distort your reality, making it harder for you to see the truth. The good news is, you can change those beliefs. You can reprogram your mind, and in doing so, you can reprogram the hologram. One of the most powerful ways to do this is through visualization. Just as meditation helps you access the deeper layers of reality, visualization allows you to shape those layers. When you visualize, you're not just imagining a better future, you're actively creating it. You're sending out ripples into the hologram, influencing the energy and information that make up your reality. But here's the key: you have to believe it. You have to trust that the hologram will respond to your intentions. This is where so many people get stuck. They visualize, they meditate, but deep down they don't believe that they can actually change their reality. They're still trapped in the old paradigm, the old belief that the world is something external, something separate from them. But the moment you start to believe, truly believe, that you are the creator of your reality, that's when the magic happens. And here's something else to consider: the hologram is not just shaped by your thoughts and beliefs, but by your emotions. Your emotions are like the fuel that powers the hologram. When you feel joy, gratitude, and love, You're sending out high-frequency energy that aligns with the deeper structure of reality. But when you're stuck in fear, anger, or resentment, you're creating distortions in the hologram. These lower frequency emotions create static, making it harder for you to see clearly and manifest your intentions. So, how do you shift your emotions? It's simple, but not always easy. You have to become aware of what you're feeling at each moment. Instead of getting caught up in the story of why you're angry or why you're sad, simply observe the emotion, feel it fully, and then let it go. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions, it means allowing them to move through you without getting attached to them. When you do this, you clear the static in the hologram. You create space for higher frequency emotions to flow in. At this point, you might be thinking, this sounds great, but what about the real world? What about the challenges I face every day? And that's a valid question. But here's the thing, the real world is part of the hologram. The challenges you face are not obstacles, they are opportunities. They are reflections of the deeper patterns that are playing out in your consciousness. When you shift your inner world, the outer world will follow. This is the ultimate secret of the hologram. Everything is connected. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, they all shape the reality you experience. And the more you awaken to this truth, the more you'll realize that you are not a victim of the world, you are its creator. So I ask you one final question. Are you ready to wake up? Are you ready to embrace the power that's been inside you all along? Because once you do, there's no going back. You'll see the world for what it truly is, a hologram, a projection of your consciousness. And with that knowledge, you'll be able to shape your reality in ways you never thought possible. The choice is yours.